there is an underlying thread of faith that's in this book. I mean, so much about just having faith that if God said to do something, to do it. If God said to move, and to trust God and not to try to pimp God. Like, okay, I did this, God, so I want you to do that, but just to trust Him at His word. Welcome to the Self Love Experience podcast. I'm your girl, Shira Nicole, and today I am giving you one of my self love practices that I do daily, and it will, to me, it is a game changer, it is a life changer. And I know everybody is different, but I am going to bring you what I know for sure worked for me, and that is self love books. On this episode, I am going to bring you a book that I feel like should be a part of everyone's self love routine. And this book is so beautiful. Bamboozled by Jesus. And the subtitle is How God Tricked Me into the Life of My Dreams. And it is by Yvonne Orji. And if you're like, do I know her? She look familiar. It is because Yvonne Orji is also Molly Carter from Insecure for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, and get ready for season 5. Oh my God, this book is absolutely amazing. And I feel like when I am reading and diving into this book, I am giving back to myself. She wrote this book. It's about her and it's about some of the most famous characters in the Bible, but it's also about me and it's about you and it's about how she got hers and how we can get ours. And so, one of the things that I've noticed from my own self love journey, from the journey from the Self Love Experience Tribe, and if you're interested in being part of the Self Love Experience community, where we're just a group of women who are growing and glowing together and doing our best to give back, you can go to www.shiranicolesmith.com or find me on Instagram at Mrs. Shira Nicole. Give me a follow. Become part of the community where we share our self love journey. And it's not always peaches and cream. And I think that's really what one of the things that Yvonne is doing in her book. Whether she knows it or not, girl, you are sharing your own self love journey of how you've been bamboozled by Jesus. And at the end of the day, not only did you come out of it with a life that far exceeded what she even dreamed for her, but I'm willing to vouch and go out on a limb and say that you got a chance to know yourself a lot more, understand yourself a lot more, and love yourself a lot more. And that's what we're all trying to do. So, one of the things that I do every morning is I read. I love myself so much that I need to feed my brain. I need to make sure that I just don't take care of my physical hygiene, that I'm taking care of my mental hygiene. And as I take care of my mental hygiene, I want to make sure that I am feeding it every day, things that is helping me and encouraging me to love myself, to have the freedom to make big goals, dream big, huge, audacious goals, to be authentically me, and to live moment by moment to the best of my ability in flow and allowing God to work through me, to use me, and to trust Him on my journey because it is a journey. And so many times we're focused on the destination. When do I get it? The destination. Mama I made it. Mama I made it. The destination. But we have a journey too. And in this book, Yvonne humorously and entertainingly, but authentically and honestly, and with tons of inspiration, shares her journey on how she was bamboozled by Jesus and God tricked her into the life of her dreams. So let's get to it. I follow Yvonne Orji on Instagram, and she is always sharing, just sharing her life and just, just all this positive energy that's always coming from her. So I knew about the book for quite some time. So when the pre-order went on, bam, got that pre-order. Book came first day. Great new book smell, and it is absolutely beautiful. So a lot of people want to know when I give these recommendations, like, well, is it for everybody? Actually, no. This book is not for everybody, and I know everybody want to think that their books are for everybody, but what I'm going to tell you is that there's no way that you can read this book and not get inspired and not become inspired um, and not allow it to awaken some of the dreams that you may have that's been dormant inside of you. So it's for someone who has big dreams. It's for someone who is in a place where they can listen to someone else's story and get inspired from it and become better from it. It is for those of you who may have had big dreams and you decided that you wanted to quit, you wanted to give up. This is the book that will awaken that spark. This is the book that will ignite your fire. This is the book that will get you back going, you know? Um, One of my favorite chapters so far in this book is when she talks about fear and she talks about failure. And the thing is, too, is that you have to realize that Yvonne is putting 100% her personality into this book. This isn't about, well, as an author, I should be a certain way and I should write a certain way. No, no. Mm-mm. Let me tell you, that's not what she's doing. Okay. Um, she having conversations with God, and she's like, okay, dude, like, really, man, like, you doing that again? Like, oh, we on this? It's that type of personality that she has in this book. I'm loving it. I love that type of humor. I love that type of personality. Our age range, her age range, um, the younger generation or people who are into uh, this type of culture. You've seen the show Insecure. I think they can understand it. I'm just gonna be quite honest. My dad, who is 84 years old now, um, uh, I don't think half the time that he would understand some of the stuff that she's talking about, because Jesus be having her in these streets and she be talking about how she in these streets, and it's like, really, you gonna play me like that? And my dad just, I mean, he just may not get it. For those of you who want to be inspired and you don't understand her humor, don't understand the culture and the swag that comes with her language, I definitely can translate and can help you out. We can do a teaching session. But so what is it that you're going to expect? Well, the way that the book is broken up, I really feel like you could move around and navigate. That does not have to necessarily be in linear order. So that's number one. Um, so she has it in different parts. Part one being the burden, part two, the building, part three, the breakthrough, part four, book blessed and busy, and that she is, and then part five is the bonus. So I think, and I'm just going to be honest with you, right now I am in part three, the breakthrough, and it's encouraging because we see people on television and we think that they have always been there or that it was easy for them. And a lot of people don't share. I don't want to call it failures, because really it was just opportunity for her to assess, okay, maybe that's not working. I should do this. But how do I want to put this? It's not just her sharing about her life. I mean, she uses scripture, she uses stories in the Bible, and she puts a spin on it that you're probably not going to hear in a regular church service. She's going to come from it, from her personality, her perspective, and really modernizing the stories in the Bible. Okay? Like, really? Like, did you really get your husband permission to sleep with Hagar? Like, okay, so you really did that because you didn't believe that God was gonna give you a baby, and then He did it, and then it was like, okay, now I want to get rid of him. Like, dude, like that's some violation of marital commitment, you know. And that is exactly the humor and the fun and the personality that she's gonna put in the stories when she is explaining these things through her book. And the comfort that I found from it is that if God used all these people from the Bible and maybe everything didn't work for them and maybe they didn't achieve their goals right away, the fact that God stayed with them and God continued to go through that journey go through that journey with them, and then ultimately end up in a better position than they thought. And then you look in hindsight and you're like, oh, so when that happened and that happened and that went wrong, okay, it was all basically what she will say is a setup. It was a setup, the okey doke setup, that it was a setup for you to come out victorious and for you to come out, even greater than you even imagined or dreamed or set out for. And that is how the book has inspired me. There were times where I wanted to cry. There was times where I continued to be inspired and even get like light bulbs going out in my own mind. There was definitely times where I was able to relate um, with Yvonne on some of the endeavors being exactly the same. She talks about imposter syndrome. She shares a lot of things that I feel that a lot of actors, comedians, entertainers haven't shared in such an authentic way. And then some crazy stories. Oh my God, just the whole setup with Oprah and going to the OWN network. Yvonne, oh my Lord. I'm like, that's like a dream that everybody has. Trust me, there's not a podcast I don't think that I do where Oprah name doesn't come up some way, because I am definitely inspired and just in awe of her um, of her greatness, of who she is. So to hear Yvonne talk about that and to see the setup of how it comes across is excellent. Self Love Experience is brought to you by Audible. So, Audible is owned by Amazon. It is a great audio resource that allows you to listen to podcasts like this one, as well as audiobooks. You can find today's book that we're talking about, Bamboozled by Jesus, on Audible, as well as thousands of other audiobooks. So I do the program where I get a new credit every month. I can exchange and be able to keep all of my books, but you can, with my link, get a special free trial. Look in the description to get the link and check it out. See if you like it. For me, it's crucial, especially on those mornings when you wake up and you don't want to wake up. And I can't read a book because I don't have the energy yet. But what I do is I go and I put in my earpieces and I start listening to an audio and feeding my mindset, getting me ready to go. And it makes all the difference. So, Audible, check the link below. Now, what if you are not religious? And what if you don't really have the type of playful, relaxed relationship with Jesus as Yvonne does? So, is it a book that will probably you skip, or do you think that it would offend you? And I don't really think so, because if you have an understanding of who she is and that she is writing this from her perspective, It is her, and she addresses this in the beginning of the book. This is how her and Jesus get down. This is the relationship they have. This is how they talk to one another. This is how he has been, guiding her. If you can understand that, I think you could appreciate it. Now, this is the crazy part. So I'm reading the book. I'm loving reading the book, but something was saying you should use your Audible credit and get the audio. And so I do have an Audible membership. They are a partner with us on the Self Love Experience podcast. So I always have a link to Audible where you can do a 14-day free trial, get this book, listen to it. Because what I like about listening to it is like she's there with you. It's like you have a friend that's just sitting down to you, like in a coffee shop or on a couch, and just telling you the ups and downs, letting you know the inside scoop on her one-on-one personal relationship with Jesus, having that relationship with her Christian belief, with Jesus being the lover of her soul. I'm sure it didn't do anything but enhance her own love, because I know even reading the book has enhanced my own self-love, and that is why I'm including it on the show. That is good. Anything that I'm doing on my own self-love journey, anything I come across, especially books, I love books. I want to make it a regular thing on the self love experience. If the book is aiding me and helping me on my self love journey, I'm going to share it with you so it can aid you and help you on your self love journey. I welcome you to share things with me. I'm so excited that we have some amazing guests coming up that have different things that they are into, that they do, that again will aid you on your self love journey. And your self love is just getting a chance to know you. I mean, when you wake up in the morning, bam, is you. And that last person that you spend the time with, listen to those thoughts in your head before you drift off to sleep, is you. You're going to be with you for the rest of your life. You might as well get accustomed to yourself. You might as well start enjoying yourself and loving yourself. And the crazy thing about it is that when we do that, we are in a better position to give to others, to recognize others, to take joy for others. Now, I'm telling you right now, if I haven't been working on myself and I was reading this book and everything, oh my goodness, I don't know if I would have even thought to include it on the podcast. You, I don't know. I'm just being honest. I don't know if I would have thought to include it on a podcast. I mean, so much in this book. Um, she has gone through a journey similar to mine, but definitely has gotten a lot further in that area. But she shares everything that she has been through. And there is an underlying thread of faith that's in this book. I mean, so much about just having faith that if God said to do something, to do it. If God said to move, and to trust God and not to try to pimp God. Like, okay, I did this, God, so I want you to do that. But just to trust him at his word. And that it does not mean that you're going to see the manifestation of it immediately. And I think that's the thing that um, causes a lot of people to stop, because stop pursuing their goals, stop pursuing their dreams, because they feel like they don't see the results soon enough. But she's like, hey, I am a testament that I kept going, I kept going, I kept going. I had times where I cried and cried and cried, she says, but she kept going. And I'm just so excited of what she's doing. I'm sad that this is going to be the last season of Insecure, season 5. I'm also sad that I did not get a chance to work on season 5. I did spend time working on Insecure for season 3 and season 4. That doesn't mean that I just like know Yvonne like that. All of my scenes were scenes with Yvonne because it took place at the Hayward Law Firm. And there were many times where she would come over and just say, hi, how are you doing? You doing okay? Because we worked long hours on that show. And I didn't have to be there, but I wanted to be there. I wanted to be a part of Black girl magic I wanted to just see. And if it was just sitting at a desk acting like I'm typing or something, and to be able to watch her work, to be able to see so many female directors, guest directors that was on the show, Kerry Washington, Regina King. Oh my God, she spoke to me. Oh, I was like, yes, Regina King. Uh, it was amazing being able to see somebody and not just what they wrote in their book, but had a little bit of a behind the scenes of who she is. You can see God shining all the way through her. You can see God's light. So I recommend get the book. I recommend listening to the audio. I think you should just do both because there is definitely something in it for you. And if you like her style of comedy, which I love, and want to be able to laugh and joke and learn at the same time, then it's a no brainer. Remember, if you don't have Audible, you can click on my link below in the description box. It will give you a 14-day free trial. If you don't want to keep that free trial, you can always put in your phone and say, all right, have it on your calendar to cancel your subscription so you don't forget. But you all need to listen to her book, especially if you're a fan of Insecure, a fan of Yvonne Orji. Um, whether you liked Molly for season 4 or if you dragged her on Twitter, does not matter. This is Yvonne, it's not Molly. But you should check it out. And then also comment below, what are some things that you do on your what's some things that you do? What are some practices, some habits as you are on your own self-love journey? So what are some things that you use? I mean, I want to know it all. If it's a product, if it's a book, and if you are the business owner, if you are the entrepreneur, if you are the author, if you are the teacher, if you are the whatever it is that you have going on, and it is part of your self-love journey, I want to hear about it. What's your self-love practices? A couple of things I could put in the comments. I'm reading every morning. I'm doing my best to have at least 10-15 minutes of meditation or silent time. I do deep breathing. I journal. These are all things that I do for me to help me get in touch with who I am and help me get in touch with a higher power, with my higher source that is loving me as well and helping me to become a better version of me, which I think what this earthly experience is all about. So, if you enjoyed this episode, please just let me know. Say hi. At least, if anything else, just say hi in the comments. Let me know who you are. If you are listening to this on one of the podcasts and you like it, please leave a review. I really am doing this because I want to get in touch with other like-minded individuals that are on their self-love journey and um, just want to share in what we are learning. Okay, so we can all grow and glow and then give back together. If you have any other book recommendations that you would like for me to review, that you feel that is an essential book for people to read as they are on their self-love journey, then please put the title and the author of the book in the comments below. If you're interested in helping to support the Self Love Experience podcast and Self Love with Shira and Self Love books, if you're interested in supporting this, one of the things that I ask people to do is you can easily just go to this website and donate for a cup of tea. This just helps keep us going, help keep us motivated, help keep funding the team. And all it takes is just a cup of tea or the actual cup itself because I need some more mugs for the show. But if you are interested in helping us, please donate, or you can just cash app us your donation to basically say, hey, this has helped me. This has been part of my mental hygiene. You are feeding me, girl, and I want to sow back into you. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to do anything but multiply. So thank you so much. Self Love Experience is brought to you by Audible. So, Audible is owned by Amazon. It is a great audio resource that allows you to listen to podcasts like this one, as well as audiobooks. You can find today's book that we're talking about, Bamboozled by Jesus, on Audible, as well as thousands of other audiobooks. So I do the program where I get a new credit every month. I can exchange. I mean, I'm able to keep all of my books, but you can, with my link, get a special free trial. Look in the description to get the link and check it out. See if you like it. For me, it's crucial, especially on those mornings when you wake up and you don't want to wake up. And I can't read a book because I don't have the energy yet. But what I do is I go and I put in my earpieces and I start listening to an audio and feeding my mindset, getting me ready to go. And it makes all the difference. So, Audible, check the link below. Have you had a moment where you thought that you failed and it looked like failure and you didn't think you were going to be able to bounce back from it and you did? I would love for you to share that in the comment. Until next time, I am your girl, Shira Nicole, and I want you to love thyself. Bye.